Today's date is September 29th, 2015, and today we'll be discussing the tournaments from past weeks, talking about some free items that are incoming, looking at some new team signatures, and other carball news, all here on The Tip-Off. Good evening, Carballers, and I'm Mark Test Cycle Booster, and I'm here to present to you the second official, unofficial episode of The Tip-Off, an online news broadcast for the Rocket League game from the National Carball Association, a lighthearted website and YouTube channel aimed at fans of the game. Today's episode is quite light, as the news week was, well, it was quite white. Not much news in it this week, but I also want to apologize for the mess that's behind me. My apartment is currently going through some renovations. We'll be back on track next week, but let's go ahead and hop right into our tournament wrap-up. So late last week on the 25th, 55 teams squared off in the Gfinity 3v3 European Cup, looking to set their mark and take home a part of the €300 prize pool. While most of the high-profile teams coasted through the tournament, there were some upsets. One team, which emerged out of thin air, was Nice One Team. Congratulations on their stellar performance this series. EU's top team, Flipside, was utilizing a sub for Mike Rules, bringing in UK Scott UK from Teamus Weemus. However, standing in their way was the bloodthirsty Swarm Gaming. The classic Swarm Gaming and Flipside matchup had me on the edge of my seat, and this time it took a turn in a way that I previously thought was unimaginable. Man, I like to stumble my words whenever I'm actually broadcasting, but when we're back doing the pre-show, I'm perfect. I apologize. Anyway, in our finals match, Swarm found themselves dominated in Game 1. But beginning with Game 2, Swarm dug deep inside and seeked revenge and won the remaining 4 games, thus going on to become the winners of the Gfinity tournament of September 25th and slayed their arch nemesis, Flipside. However, as pointed out by Shathalis over on Reddit, there is an asterisk by this win. Will Swarm be able to continue their domination when Mike Rules returns to the lineup? Only time will tell, but it will certainly make for exciting matches in the future. The rivalry between these two teams is top-notch and constantly has me looking forward to the next game. With that being said, Swarm played their hearts out, and I can't wait to see more from such an exciting team. Here's to your win, Swarm, and a big hurrah for all the teams that competed. Gfinity wasn't the only exciting tournament we had this weekend. We were also treated to the ESEL Go for Rocket League Cup number 9. Looking at the top 4 in the EU scene, Flipside was able to once again hold firm to their cup and reign supreme over the likes of Swarm Gaming, Supersonic Stars, and Team Shazoo. After the loss of Swarm Gaming in the Gfinity tournament earlier this week, Flipside had something to prove. Flipside was able to come back strong and show their European dominance with a 4-2 series in a best-of-7 matchup. While over in the US, it was VQ Untethered, the favorite team of this week, who was able to hoist the title well above their heads. Able to beat out Perfect Storm, Apollo 11, and Doesn't Matter. It is important to note we missed Cosmic Aftershock this cup, as both Kronovi and Sad Jr. were at TwitchCon, partying it up. Hope all the members of Cosmic Aftershock are able to sober up before their next matches. In the finals best-of-7 matchup, VQ Untethered had some nail-biting moments against Perfect Storm, but was eventually able to incoming lame pun that I've used every single episode, wither the storm and take their well-deserved spot at the throne with a 4-2 series. Congratulations to all the teams that competed in both the EU and NA scenes, and thank you for entertaining me with your skillful carball playing. Boy, do we have a lot to talk about over in the Major League Gaming brackets. We ended our discussion last week talking about the games on the 22nd, so let us go ahead and hop back in my time machine, boop, 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 and begin our journey on September 23rd. Cosmic Aftershock met with the Supersonic Stars and ended with a 3-3 series draw. an extremely close set of games, but like many of the other matches we've talked about today, this one too had a substitute. Cool Cole 93 was filling in for Sad Jr. Both teams still played their hearts out, and it was an extremely intense watching both teams go back and forth. VQ Untethered face off against Team Shazoo. On paper, this series seemed extremely one-sided, with a series that ended with a 5-1 victory in favor of VQ Untethered. But do not be fooled by the series score. Each match went the distance, with 3 of them going all the way to overtime. The next day, September 24th, we had 3 more games for our viewing pleasure. Each of these games were extremely one-sided, however, with all 3 turning into complete blowouts. The European powerhouse that is Swarm Gaming took on North American team Perfect Storm. In it, Swarm Gaming took complete control of the matches, taking an easy win to pad their numbers in a 6-0 series. The Kings of Europe, Flipside, faced off against the Kings of Urban in an ultimate showdown. During the battle, Kings of Urban simply couldn't shake the Kings from across the lake, and Flipside was able to pull ahead with a 5-1 win. VQ Untethered versus Air Force 2 was another match that, though a blowout, was very interesting. Air Force 2 had a ridiculously difficult division matchup this season, and it's good to see them at least keep their heads above the water and continue to show up for their games. Keep working, and I think they could eventually break out of their shell and become a competitor. That brings us to today's matchups. Kings of Urban versus Perfect Storm, and Team Shazoo versus Air Force 2. Again, we saw 2 very lopsided matches. Kings of Urban able to smite Perfect Storm in a 5-1 series, and Team Shazoo showed no mercy against Air Force 2, throwing up a quick 6-0 series. Thursday, October 1st, we'll see 3 more matches. Devoid Gaming versus Flipside, Devoid Gaming versus Swarm Gaming, and the main event, Cosmic Aftershock versus VQ Untethered. Cannot wait. Mad Magic, consisting of Low5, Koogie Cougs, and Z-Octanes, has been picked up by Devoid Gaming. This is a huge step forward for Rocket League esports, and we hope to see bigger organizations begin to pick up the talented Rocket League players. Congratulations to the guys of Devoid Gaming, currently ranked 4th in the MLG Division 1 bracket, and to the bigger orgs out there. Keep looking into creating a Rocket League division. We'd all appreciate it. Oddworld and Rocket League official Twitters both tweeted out about free content coming to Rocket League that features our favorite Mudakin, Abe. I can't fucking wait to have some Rocket Abe swag on my gizmo. Not only is Oddworld getting to get a bit of Rocket love, Nosgoth will be too. Psyonix is also the dev team for Nosgoth, and it looks like they'll be sharing that love between their games with the inclusion of Nosgoth flags. The more customization, the merrier. Bring on the free stuffs. I'm True over at Reddit created an extremely awesome tool that automatically tracks your ranked points. From there, you can create graphs with Excel and do all sorts of fancy things with your data. A great tool for keeping track if you've been on tilt, if you're delving deeper into ELO hell, or if you're simply a beast of a player. Well, boys and girls, that brings us to yet another overtime interview, and this time we have quite a special guest. You may know him, you may love him. He soothes our ears with his beloved voice. It's, how the hell do you pronounce this name? Tom Orr from the Epic Aerial Podcast. Welcome, Tom, and thanks for hanging out with us today.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. And you got close enough. I'll take it.
All right, deal. Hey, Tom, thanks again. I want to know, this is the question that I have to ask everyone. It's probably the most important question in my opinion. What's your favorite car to play with?
Well, I'm going to have to give a shout out to Cool Cole from Team Rocket. I've been playing with Hotshot since we had him on episode 5, I believe, and it has been treating me extremely well. I don't know why more people aren't using it. I'm definitely a huge fan of Hotshot. We'll have to see, though. I'm kind of excited about Scarab, mostly because everybody's calling it so ugly that I just got to do it, to show it a little bit of love.
As a Gizmo player, I too am looking forward to Scarab, just to have one of those other off cars on my side. But tell me a little bit. Exactly. Tell me a little bit more about you, though, Tom. Who the hell are you?
I don't know, man. I'm just a dude from Central Illinois that, for some reason, doesn't play video games and still gets on Twitch every day. So one day I was just, looking around, seeing what was available, and all of a sudden towards the top was Rocket League, and I'm like, what's going on here? So I hop in, and I don't know who the stream was. It had to be Cronovi or, maybe it was Dirk, I don't know. But they were just flying around in this stupid little car, hitting this soccer ball around, and I'm just like, holy cow, this is something else. And then all of a sudden, I didn't have a PS4, I had a crappy PC, and I knew this was a game that I had to play. And so it's basically been taking over my life since then, and my wife will definitely attest to that.
Well, after seeing that video, I'm sure that had something to do with, obviously it created this love for the game. But what exactly made you want to make a podcast about a game where you hit balls with cars? Like, where did that thought come from?
Well, I used to do a podcast a few years ago, and if there's one thing that I'm extremely good at, it's talking. And I love being a part of a community and just trying to build it up. And so I got on Reddit, I searched Google, I couldn't find anything in terms of a podcast, and I know that there were tons of great videos. I mean, this game is great for videos, and then of course there's Twitch, but there's always those people that are in between, whether it's in the car, or just, getting ready in the morning, that want something extra while they're just passively doing something else, and podcasts are great for that. And fortunately, with a podcast, I can screw up all I want, and I have a great editor that takes care of all of that. I mean, cheers to you for hopping on here live and just going with it. I couldn't handle that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, so, I mean, I knew that it was something that would be wanted in the community, just because it fills in that space in between when you're at your PlayStation or at your PC, and when you're at work and you still want that Rocket League fix. So, I hopped in.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. I know I personally, I work from home when I'm doing my actual job, not sitting here talking here. But that's when I try to fill in my podcasts. I watch videos, exactly, and you guys do a great job of stepping up for my Rocket League needs. So
Thanks,
I appreciate that. So let me ask you this, Tom. What was the hardest obstacle that you've had to overcome so far with your podcast?
I think just getting it out there, really. I think, we're in the right place. Just to give you a little backstory on the podcast itself, once I finally decided, hey, this is something that I'm going to do, I put a post on the Psyonix Rocket League forum, and then I put one in the subreddit. And I just said, hey, I'm going to start a podcast, and I knew it would be kind of goofy if I did it on my own, because I didn't have fancy graphics to back me up or anything like that. So I knew I wanted a really good co-host. So I put something out there, and I immediately got a response from Hillman, and he's been awesome. I couldn't ask for a better co-host. And then we also got a response from a phenomenal editor. He was just like, I don't want to be on your podcast, but I have experience in editing and doing stuff like that and producing, so I'd be happy to be a part of it. And shout out to Dr. Wicked. He's been phenomenal. We would not be where we are without him. So we haven't honestly had any struggles so far. Besides, I'd like to see it growing a little bit faster.
Obviously, right.
But that's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
But I know I'm doing the right thing because it's just been a blast the whole way, really. And we've gotten in with a lot of the professionals, a lot of the casters. It's been a great ride so far. We're only a couple months in, but it's been great.
That's awesome. I actually didn't know about your guys' backstory like that. That's such an amazing story to hear how the community just stepped up like that in order to create the content.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that's freaking amazing. Thank you guys all for stepping up there and releasing that content.
It's our pleasure.
And that actually leading into the next question. So a lot of people might think, there might not be enough room for 2 audio podcasts and a video news show. How do you feel about that? And on top of that, do you have anything to say to those that maybe are thinking about getting into content creation?
Well, last time I checked, there's 24 hours in a day, and there's 7 days a week. Our show lasts about 45 minutes. Nice Shot, which is a podcast over on SoundCloud. I don't know if they're out anywhere else. They do a great job. Chewy and Seismic White are awesome and do a great job and have great guests on as well. And, I mean, you guys are maybe 20 to 25 minutes, sometimes less. You could fit all of that in 3 hours if you really struggle to stay focused. So
Yeah.
I don't see any reason that there can't be that and more. Especially with all the great video out there. I mean, all the GIFs that are on Reddit right now, I mean, there has to be at least 2 days worth of GIFs to go through, and they keep on coming. Because people will keep on wanting to absorb it and absorb it. So if you're out there wanting to do something, it's not like I'm special or, you know, Test Cycle has a great mustache and is growing a pretty decent goatee. But, I mean, it's not like he's anything amazing. Like, just go
Normal
out and
people,
do it.
Just like them, right?
Yeah, 100%. We just love the game and we want to talk about it, so here we are. If you want to do it, do it. And honestly, I'll support it. I know I can't speak for you, but I'm guessing you would too, because we want to see this community grow. And the more content that we provide, the more people will get interested. And you're going to do something different than I do. You know, we like to keep it very professional, very focused, and a nice, clean organization. And that'll work for some people. And, you know, Nice Shot is a lot more casual. They're playing games. They're just kind of chatting. And, you know, they're going through things that happened throughout the week, but it's a lot more casual than what I would say that we do. So that might work for some people that ours doesn't work for. It just depends. And it's all great stuff. So if you want to do something, just do it.
Definitely. Great advice. And finally, Tom, is there anything exciting coming up for your podcast? And is there anything that you'd like to plug? You know, a little plug that you want to throw out there?
Yes, definitely. Sometime in October. We haven't gotten it nailed down yet exactly when we're going to do it next month. But next month, Epic Aerial will start doing live podcast episodes on Twitch at least once a month. So we're really excited about that. You know, we want to start offering different things to the community, try out some new ideas, and, you know, really get some fan interaction during those episodes, because we've been having a lot of great guests come on and we like doing some games afterwards. So just finding some new ways to get the community involved, I think, is something that we're really excited about.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds great. And I expect you to grow a fabulous mustache as well, since we're going to be possibly seeing your mug on Twitch when you guys are doing that.
I tried that once already, and I think I'm over that phase, but I will definitely send you some pictures just so you can bask in the greatness.
Perfect. That'll work for me. Well, thanks again for joining us, Tom. It's been a pleasure.
Hey, yeah, I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun, and I look forward to having you over on Epic Aerial very soon as well.
Perfect. We can't wait for it. That would be our pleasure. So thank you again, and yeah, we look forward to that too.
Awesome. Have a good one.
You too. Take care, Tom. So thanks again to Tom Orr for hanging out and answering questions for us today. And for those who haven't done so already, make sure you check out the Epic Aerial Podcast over at epicaerialpodcast.com. There's some awesome dudes, and they're making some really freaking cool content. So make sure you check them out. And well, Carballers, that's the end of September 29th, 2015, our second official episode of the show. Be sure to tweet at the National Carball Association with any comments or criticisms at National Carball, or you can tweet directly at me at Test Cycle TV. Make sure you let us know what you think of the format and things you'd like to see changed and worked on. It is you who keeps us coming back, so keep that in mind. Again, I'm Mark, Test Cycle Booster, and this was The Tip-Off, brought to you by the National Carball Association. It's voted #1 Rocket League broadcast by myself and my dog. So I'll see you again next Tuesday, October 6th at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Take care and stay classy.